Piggybanx just announced that on October 7th, the next Heavy is the Head piece is dropping, Ronaldo style. Stop what you're doing. This piece should break all records, and I don't care how he prices it. I will detail exactly why you should be all in on this piece and stop focusing on pricing or anything else. This piece is for everyone. Piggybanx recently announced the 10th design in their Heavy is the Head set. It's Ronaldo. And who knew that there would be 10 in this set? Who knows how many more will come? The post he made about pricing, which said the price of this drop will be different from their standard drops of $750, indicated this might not be the last drop. At least that's the impression I got. He said, hey, moving forward, the Heavy is the Head set is going to be priced differently. So why wouldn't he have just said this one final drop? I don't think it's the final one. I think more crowns are coming. Now, this, of course, is the crown set of Piggybanx. Heavy is the Head. I said since day one, the crown set's my favorite. I own 0. But I'm going to tell you why I think everybody should get a crown. Why everybody should get a crown. Why everybody out there should go for this drop. And I don't frankly care what the price point is. Now, the price point is going to be interesting. We need to explore that in this video of how is Piggy going to price it? Why is he going to price it that way? And what implications is that going to have? All of that matters. But I'll tell you right now, no matter what, you should go for it. And let's start just with a quick sales history, because I'm going to talk you through what has happened with the Heavy is the Head set over time. Now, this is Card Ladder. For those that don't have it, it's a great app. Primarily used for sports cards, but it works for Piggybanx pieces as well. Now, this is going to pick up things on eBay, Pristine, Golden, etc. Different auction houses and eBay. Now, of course, it's not going to track what's selling on Instagram, what's selling on Facebook, what's happening in the Discord, etc. And a lot of people are going to point out those prices. I get it. If you were to walk up to Joe Blow, Bubba, in a card show, they're going to pull up this data. No one's really going to be able to reference an auction record from Discord or Instagram or word of mouth. That's honestly what makes comps and sales in the Piggybanx world tricky. That said, everyone knows I'm not selling any Piggybanx. But for those that do, this is really the public record at the moment. Now, if someone makes something else, that's fantastic. But for the moment, this is the most authoritative source I've seen. And all I'm trying to do here is not say what it's worth. That's not what I'm here. We'll argue till we're 98 years old on what the Heavy is the Head set crown is. I'm just here to show you trends. Tom Brady Heavy is the Head link variation blue jersey sold for $1,150 June 17th, 2024. That's about 15 months ago. $1,150. Who doesn't want to go back in time and grab that one? Michael Jordan sold 2 weeks later for $5,300. Now, apples to apples, okay? You take the Piggybanx in July 17th. About 1 month later, the price of that Heavy is the Head set more than doubled. More than doubled. Okay? Red background. This is blue. Who cares? Who cares? It's more than doubled. Now, you look at LeBron James going for $12,600 in September. That's 1 month after this one. Unbelievable. You look at, again, the Tom Brady, $5,202 1 month later. 1 month later, this one sells for $5,202. $2,100 more 1 month later. And then you go to October. You see that LeBron, again, sort of still staying steady from the 12,000. That's good. Piggybanx, Michael Jordan. I mean, come on. Here's the Michael Jordan one, $5,300, July 31st. Here's Michael Jordan, October 27th. August, September, October. We're talking 3 months difference. $14,400, right? Almost 3 times as much 3 months later. Now, another one comes here. It looks like the same one. This one could have been shilled. DC Sports, who knows? Also sold by DC Sports 2 weeks later. So maybe this was a non-payment. $8,200. So let's go with that one as the right price. $8,200, $5,300. $3,000 move to the north. Now here's a Tom Brady heavy as the head, also with a kid from Cali, sold for $5,200. $5,200, you get an extra piece here. Now you fast forward, Tom Brady, just 2 weeks ago, $10,980. Now there's not enough sales to put a ton of stock in whether this is an $11,000 piece or $15,000 piece or $8,000 piece. I don't know. What we do know is that back in the day when it sold for $1,150, and then it sold for $3,000, and then it sold for $5,000, and then it sold again for $10,980. There's a very clear trend line. Anyone checking? Very clear trend line upward. Now, Piggy, of course, when he's looking at the secondary market, which I'm sure he does, is going to say, am I going to sell this piece for $750? Am I going to sell the next heavy as the head piece for $750? No. Now, I don't know what he's going to price it at, and you can't get too caught up in secondary market, of course, because these prices fluctuate. Tomorrow it could be worth $1,000. It won't. It won't. But if there's a piece to buy, and the reason why I say everybody needs to buy it, everybody needs to submit for it, is because if you get it, you have so much trade equity. Again, I'm not advocating here for selling. I'm saying you have trade equity in this space, unlike any other piece. Unlike any other piece. Piggybanx, by raising the price, is acknowledging that the heavy is the head set is the crown set. Literally. It's the crown set. It's worth more. Everybody knows it's worth more. The studio's acknowledging it by raising their price. They're acknowledging it. And so if you can get it, you can then move yourself into multiple Piggy pieces if you wanted to trade it. Or if you're like me and you're fortunate enough to hit that drop, if I got this drop, guess what I'm not doing? Trading it. I'm keeping it. Okay? Because I'm a sports guy. Get off me. And I like crowns. I would advise everyone to submit for this. I don't care what the price point is. If you can afford it within your means and you're into Piggybanx, get it. This is a piece you just go for. You just go for it. Now, I know a lot of people who do that on Pokemon pieces and One Piece pieces, Star Wars pieces, because they use it whether they want it or not. They try to get the piece to use it as trade equity. I don't think there's a better piece to go for than this one. Again, you've got your collectors out there, your diehard set collectors that are going to want it. You have your sports collectors who are going to want it. You have your crown lovers that are going to want it. Now, I'm all of those. And you have your people that, again, may not want it, but want other Piggybanx pieces and can't. Have no leverage. We talked about it on the new collectors series, earlier episode. They have no leverage. This is called a leverage piece right here. It's also a lover's piece. It's all things you want for everyone. This piece should break submission records, and I don't care how Piggybanx prices it. It should break all the records. It'll be interesting. I'm dying to see. I wish I had an insider view of Piggybanx records to see what the submission numbers are for this one and how his pricing will affect that. Now, I've said from the start, I think Piggybanx should be patient for profits and impatient for growth. And I do believe that that's their model. I do believe they're impatient for growth, and everything I've seen recently has demonstrated that. They've given away free pieces. Equal has blessed multiple new collectors. The love is being spread throughout. You're getting all different types of variations. And this is another opportunity, again, to demonstrate all of those things. But you can't be foolish in business either, right? For those people complaining that Piggybanx is raising the price, what is one to do? What is one to do if they're selling for $8,000 plus on the secondary market? You sell for $750? No. No's the short answer. No's the short answer. If everybody wants it and the demand's that high, I can't knock it. I can't knock it at all. I still think it could break records. It'll be interesting to see where they price it. This has to be very strategic on Piggybank's part. You can't turn this into a whale fight, in my opinion. I would advise against that. Not that my advice is worth much of anything. Piggybanks knows exactly what they're doing. But we can't turn the heavy as a headset into a whale sport. It has to be accessible to all. Now, less accessible is acceptable. That was a tough one to spit out. Less acceptable. All right, so I demonstrated I can't speak. You know what I'm saying? You need to keep it accessible as possible. Everyone needs to stay within their means, but I highly recommend you submit for this piece. Timeout. I had to pull it back a minute because I know people are already going to be thinking, Kurt, you're wrong. Piggy's chasing the money. He's chasing the money. He's hiking up the price because he can make more money. You're wrong. How about that? How did that feel? You're wrong. Here's why. If Piggybanx wanted to make a ton of money, he could make a ton of money. He could price heavy as the head Ronaldo at $5,000 a piece and sell out. With ease. With ease. Now, do I think then it becomes a whale sport? Yeah. Would it be considered a cash grab? Could be. Or maybe Piggybank's vision is to become, a whale hunter. Maybe his art should be selling for $5,000 and up a piece, which it should. I've already gone on the record saying his drops are too cheap. No one knows the vision of the studio. I don't either. I've exchanged maybe 4 sentences via Instagram with the studio over the course of months. I don't know Brad from anyone. I don't know Cody from anyone. I don't know anyone else on the team from anyone. If I had to guess a vision statement, how about this going out on a limb? If I had to guess what their vision statement would be, I wrote it down. I made one up. How do you like that? I wrote it down. Here's what I think it would be. Something like this. Don't quote me. Don't quote me either. My words, not theirs. I think Piggybanx wants to become the world premier art studio, where creativity, craftsmanship, and authenticity define every release. I think they envision a global community of collectors bound by passion, where true collectability is preserved, integrity is protected, and each piece stands as a timeless work of art. That's what I think their vision is. Genuinely. I just wrote that down. I wrote that down live here as I was watching back my video. I said, you know what? Are they impatient for growth or are they impatient for profits? I wonder what their vision statement is. That's what I think their vision statement is. And if I'm even close to correct, and they care about the collector experience, which we know to be true, maybe the pricing's to limit the possibility of flipping. Maybe it's to actually narrow the number of submissions to ensure that the pieces go to forever homes. To ensure if you're submitting that you've actually thought it through. You've counted your pennies. It's not just a release like every other release. It's the crown set. How do they find forever homes? Does the price point help adjust that? Does that help preserve the integrity of the collector experience and community? Maybe it does. I don't think it's for the money. In fact, I wouldn't bet all my money because I'd have to check with a wife. But I would bet all of my money on the fact that they're not going out and doing this for the money. They're not. It doesn't make sense because then they'd price it, like I said, $5 to $10K. And they'd sell out. And then they'd price every piece based on what they could sell it for. Forget $750 a drop. They'd price every single piece. They'd look at the submission numbers and say, hey, guess what? We're getting 2,000 submissions for Pokemon. We can raise the price on Pokemon pieces. We're getting 1,000 submissions on one piece. we can raise the price a little bit on one piece. And they would have a per SKU model for pricing. No, I'm not into it. It doesn't make sense. I'm sticking to they're impatient for growth. And they're stuck on preserving the integrity of the community and treating each of their pieces as a timeless work of art. That's where I am. And I think this pricing is going to be interesting. And I believe it'll debunk the theories out there that this is a cash grab or it will become a whale sport. I don't think it will. I could give you a price prediction. I don't know what good it would do. But I don't think they're going to overprice it. And I don't think they're going to underprice it. I think they're going to price it perfectly for their vision. How about that? All right, you want it? Okay. I know. Take some chances in life, Kurt. I think they should price it under $2K. What do I know? What do I know? That's neither here nor there. I mean, I make good money. And I want the piece as a true collector. Affordability is an issue, right? And if it becomes a whale sport, then I'd be out. So if you look at the masses and if you're trying to preserve the integrity of the collectible space and you are intent on exponential growth, which I think they are, then I think you got to price it under $2K. That's my answer. We'll see where they price it. And again, I don't think they're going to be wrong if they price it above it because they have access to data that I don't. They see the submission numbers. They have more inside information. And I can't build a revenue model or profit formula without that data. This is just guessing, just like the vision statement. But nevertheless, I'm committed to that is what their vision is. That's my belief of what their vision is. And I'm here to personally debunk anyone saying this is a cash grab. I think it's the right play. And I don't think they're going to go and do this across the board. I think for heavy to head, it makes sense. And if you look at the piece itself, you look at the different variations. Now, my personal favorite, these go in order of rarity. The most rare, the Portugal jersey by far is my favorite. This piece is unbelievable. And then the black label is, in fact, my second favorite. And then the regular label is my third favorite. But in this piece, everyone may have their preference. And honestly, there you have your collectors that may want all different jerseys. They may want all different jerseys. So that's what I love about sports is that the collectability, everyone may want all of them. And I don't know that you're going to be better or worse off. Now, obviously, if you get a massive PMG or something, this could be enormous. But if you get a regular label of this piece, you still have massive upside, massive trade equity, massive collectability, massive everything you want in a piece. And if you want to keep it, you win no matter what variation you get. Again, I'm dying to see how they price it. I'll be interested to see when they release that information. I wonder if they're going to wait for the drop or they're going to give you advance notice. I, for one, need to move my money from savings to checking in order to probably pull this off. But where's Piggybanx going to go? Is he going to go 1,000? Is he going to go 1,250, 1,500? How high can you go here within reason without making it a whale sport? I don't know. 2,000, 2,500? Like, what's the price point of the heavy as the headset? And what does that do in the secondary market to other pieces? I don't think it matters, right? Because when Piggybanx used to sell pieces for $200 or $350 or $400, whatever the case might be, and heck, it's even printed on the back of some of the older pieces. Do you think that influences the secondary market at all? No. I see a $200 Kobe Bryant piece, and guess what? I want to pay $5,000 for it. No one will sell it to me. My wife doesn't want that. Let me be clear. My wife doesn't want it. But the point is, the price didn't matter. So do I think that the prices of the pieces still selling for $750 are going to be constrained now that the heavy as the headset is selling for more, distinguishing it sort of as in its league of its own? No, I still think on the secondary market, pieces that you buy for $750 can sell more for heavy as than heavy as the headpiece. I think that's very possible. It's all about demand and collectability, etc. Heavy as the head has become sort of known as the set. Of course, It doesn't mean it will always be that way. It doesn't mean that it may not change. Or certain heavy as the head pieces. Who knows? Maybe people hate Ronaldo. I don't know. Point is that I don't think any way Piggybanx prices it is going to affect the secondary market performance of this piece or other Piggybanx pieces. I've heard some commentary here and there and thoughts on it. I'll tell you my thoughts. I don't think the pricing here is going to affect anything negatively. I don't think it's going to affect anything negatively. I think Piggybanx knows what they're doing. I don't have an issue with the price increase. My only thought is let's not turn it into a whale sport again. And I hope, truthfully, I hope OGs and new collectors alike get this piece because I think it'll be beneficial for the community. I hope everyone that wants it hits it. Obviously, that can't happen, but I wish everyone the best. I hope this smashes submission numbers because it should. This piece is stunning. By the way, half a point for me for saying a sports piece was next. I didn't know he'd drop a bomb like this. Heavy as the head, Ronaldo. I said I'd submit no matter what the next piece is. So I guess I'm going to submit. I would have anyway. Look at this thing. That Portugal jersey. Man. Oh, fingers crossed. Good luck to you all. Do not worry about secondary market. Do not worry about pricing. Buy what you love. But also, know, in my opinion, your investment is safe no matter where Piggybanx prices it. And if you want the piece for trade equity, go for it. All love to everyone. I wish you all the best of luck. This piece is something special. And knowing that there's probably more heavy as the head crown set to go for it. And see, I was about to sign off. I'm not. I have more to say. People said I need the whole set collector. I need the whole set. You don't need the whole set of crowns. Let's be clear here. I love crowns. I'll be the first to tell you, if you've watched all my videos, I comment on everybody's crown set. I will never chase the crown set. I won't. I do want crowns. There are some crowns I don't want. I'll say it. I'll be the first to say it. I'm not a set collector. That being said, I don't collect sets just for the sake of sets. I collect pieces that I love. This piece I love. If I saw a Kobe crown piece for less than $40K, that'd be a piece I love too. But I would never chase the whole set. I don't think you should be put off by chasing a piece just because you believe the set may be unattainable. Unless all you do is set. That could be your thing. I know there's people out there, it's like it's set or bust. But those other people, the other 90%, buy the pieces you love. Pursue the pieces you love. If you love this piece, go after it. Even if you can never get another crown. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going for this piece. And I'll acknowledge I'm not going to chase the crown set. But every crown I see moving forward, I will submit for, guaranteed. Why? I love crowns. I love sports. It's always been my thing. That's my favorite thing out there. I encourage all of you to do whatever you want to do, but don't put in a self-limiting belief. Don't limit yourself to say, I'm not going to get this piece because I can't get all the pieces. I would advise strongly against it. Piggybanx smashed it. I love even having this conversation and talking about prices going up in the art space and how many submissions we're going to get. Piggybanx has caused all of that. I've been wanting to do this video for a couple days ever since I saw it. I just love my comments over here. Yeah, I said I'm back again, still just staring at this, just floored. Unbelievable piece. My love of crowns has reached new heights with this one. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's me saying that. This piece is stunning. It is stunning. I'm all in. Good luck to all. Piggybanx. Goat for a reason. That crown right on Piggybanx's head. Amazing. Out here.